Hey, Roger here again. Welcome back to my channel. Guess what? In the video today, I'm going to share with you 7 tips, things that you can do to save money, especially if you are on a very tight budget. I don't know that there are many persons who are saying that, well, what I'm looking for is really how to make more money. But really and truly, if one is able to save more money, then one will have more money. Wouldn't you agree? Let's just jump right into the video. Now, my first recommendation to you is to practice what large companies typically do. Typically, one of their goals is to operate very energy efficiently. And to do so, they will find that they use systems and procedures, equipment, which will enable them to be able to achieve that goal. At home, what you can do is to use LED bulbs. The LED bulbs actually bring down your electricity consumption, your lighting consumption for electricity by as much as 5 times. Yes, the incandescent bulbs, they utilize 5 times more electricity than the LED bulbs. Another thing that I would recommend to you is to consider going solar. And yes, I know that there are a lot of persons who are doing this now. Where your outdoor lighting is concerned, it's a good idea to use lighting infrastructures that are solar powered, and that will bring down the electricity consumption. Another thing too that I'm big on is purchasing equipment that are inverter units. So you're going to purchase something like a washing machine, a refrigerator. Make sure that those units are inverter units. Yes, I know that they're going to be costing you, that initial cost is going to be quite high, but in the long run, it is going to be working out much cheaper for you. I'll just give you an idea. Recently, at home, there is an inverter refrigerator, which is the main refrigerator. And recently, there was some challenge with it. And there's another refrigerator that came into the picture while that one was being sorted out. And this secondary refrigerator is not an inverter refrigerator. And I tell you, the electricity bill went up by somewhere between $3,000 to $4,000 in that period when this other fridge was being used. It went up by about somewhere in the region of about $3,000 to $4,000 thereabout. Right? So these equipment that are not inverter units, they do cost more. They do utilize more electricity, more energy, and so you're going to be spending more money there on your electricity bills. My second tip is to review your finances. Look at those things, those expenses that are highest, and see how you can bring them down. This may be typically food and transportation cost, fuel cost for your car or cars. Now, I know where food is concerned, that the person is probably crossing now and saying, how much we cut down on food, how much more we cut down. But really and truly, yes, there's always a way, and it is possible that can be shaved off by as much as perhaps 10-15% thereabout, and bring more money into your pocket. Another thing too is where the petrol and transportation cost is concerned, but more so petrol, if you have a vehicle or vehicles, you may want to scale down. So perhaps, get rid of that unit and purchase one that is more fuel efficient. You may also want to look at best practices such as, fewer trips, better planning your trips, so that you utilize less gas. Tip number 3, look at when you get that salary increase, do not spend it. Take the salary increase and dump it into some form of investment which will bring you more money. Don't spend it, which is typically what we do. Typically, when we get our money, what we look to do first of all is to see, oh, I didn't need that, I'm going to buy it. So we are very consumption driven and not investment driven. So we need to reverse that. My fourth tip is to look at utilizing free stuff. And you might be saying, Roger, free stuff in Jamaica, what is there that is free? All right. Well, you may have, for instance, things around the house to be done. You may want to look at who, perhaps you have a friend or a relative who can do it, and perhaps even if it is not done free, you probably just give them a look at something. Probably it may not cost you as much as, if you were to bring in some expert. And I'm not saying that you have to compromise here and now on, where the work quality is concerned. But that is something that you can give some thought to. Okay? And let me share with you too, stuff that I would have done personally over the years studying. When if I'm doing a course, for instance, I don't go out and buy textbooks. What I do is that I go online, look for free, textbooks in PDF forms, and I utilize those. I don't buy notebooks for myself. Also, what I do is that I have a binding machine, and I will typically collect these waste papers from the printer. So prints are done, for some reason or the other, the print may spoil. But on that sheet of paper, one side may be good, as in it may be blank, nothing on it. But the other side, you may have stuff on it. What I do is that I retain them, and the side that is good, I take them and I compile them in a booklet form, and I bind them, and I use that as my notebooks. So look at it. How much is a notebook now? Perhaps, I don't know, probably $300-$400 or more, I don't know. But whatever it is, let's say that is a notebook is say $400. If I need 4 notebooks, I'll be saving the region of about $1,600 right there. That will be $1,600 in my pocket right there. Right? So take advantage of free stuff. My 5th tip to save money if you are on a tight budget is one of my favorite things, my favorite topics, and that is to create a backyard garden. You can't go wrong with having a backyard garden. So this is purple kale, and I have 2 lettuce plants that I'm going to harvest. They've gotten quite big for the containers. When you have a backyard garden, a number of things happen. Yes, you save money in your pocket, and also it is very therapeutic. Okay? Now look here. Now a lot of person may be saying that, oh, me not have Roger, me not have no space in my backyard to grow anything. If that is the case, you may want to resort to container gardening, which is something that I would have practiced over the years. If your space is tight too, you can actually go vertically, as I would have done over the years. In some situations, what I do is that I get bamboos, and I dig out some feet down, and put those bamboos in the hole, secure them, and I use nails strategically along the upright, and these 1 gallon paint buckets, I have my compost in them, and I plant in them, and that compensates for this space issue. So it can be done. Even in your kitchen, along your windowsill. You can actually also grow herbs in small containers. It can be done. And I should say too that you can save a lot of money here. So if you look at growing the basics, things like, like here in Jamaica, you grow the basics, which will be things like your callaloo, tomato, sweet pepper, some carrots. You'll find that you'll bring down your food bill, your market bill, by even say $4,000 for the month. Sorry, not for the month, $4,000 for the week. Now imagine saving $4,000 for the week on your market bill. That translates to $16,000 for the month. $16,000 you're saving back in your pocket for the month. And as I said, you have the therapeutic benefit, right? So go the route of a backyard garden. Tip number 6 is to monetize your skills. So look at what it is that you are good at doing, and market your services to your community, as in your physical community and also your online community. There are many sites online that you can sell your services to. I should also recommend to you that if you have, let's just say you have teenagers in your home, you should encourage them also to work online, and they can earn some extra money, which will help to offset their school expenses. No, you may be saying, but Roger, I have no skill, me can't do nothing. No, if you don't have a skill, then you can also look at acquiring a skill. You can, for instance, the Heart NTA, they have courses that you can do online. You don't necessarily have to even go in to any of the offices. You can do the courses online, be certified, you'll have then have a skill, and then you can monetize. There are also, you know, online classes like Udemy, for instance, Skillshare, that you can go, you can learn some skills and you can monetize. Now, my seventh and final tip to save money if you're on a tight budget is to stockpile stuff when, well, foods here now, when they are in season. We know that, for instance, at this time of the year in December, there are a lot of breadfruit, ackee. Also in the summer period, you have these also, and these are things that can be, you know, you can freeze them, and they can, you know, they can keep them in the refrigerator, in the freezer for many months. Okay, and I'm sure many of us do this, but I think for the most part we tend to do the more traditional stuff. So we probably do like the ackee, but what about other things like the onion, the hot pepper, the mangoes, right? Just about anything. We call it June plum, right? And of course, some of these things, you know, the June plum, you know, that it will get soggy, you know, after you defrost them. So you can look at, you know, using those to make juice. The same thing with the mangoes. They can be used to make juice, right? You can even juice them and store the juice in the freezer. Okay? The thing about it is that when these items are in season, the cost tends to go, you know, way down. So they are very relatively cheap. Some of these things too can be even had freely. Right? A lot of times when I'm driving through some parts of the island, you see stuff drop a roadside and nobody's business with them. Things like apple, you know, our Jamaican apples, mangoes, and because they are so plentiful in those areas, nobody has business with them. Nobody even pick them up. People don't even sell these things. You'd be so amazed, right? It was so amazed when I go to some places and I see things like apples, star apples, the star apples and the Jamaican apples. And they will just fall from a tree, and or they will just stay on the tree, and you know, they rot, or they fall and they rot, and nobody is business with them because they're so plentiful. So these things, and they're very nutritious, right? And they're much better than going into the store to buy, you know, these juices with, you know, have a lot of these preservatives. All right, so that is something that we cannot consider. We have come to the end of the video. Hope you found value in the video, and I hope, you know, that there are some takeaways from the video for you, and that you will start saving some money using some of these tips shared here. Also, I'll invite you to drop any additional tip that you have to save money at home in the comment section, so we can all view your comments. Again, I'm Roger. Please remember to like, share, and to subscribe. Until next time, take care.